Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid, PVC, was a soldier in the 4th Battalion, the Grenadiers of the Indian Army, who died in the Khem Karan sector during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965 in the Battle of Asal Uttar, and was the posthumous recipient of the Republic of India's highest military decoration, the Param Vir Chakra. Early life. Vir Shahid Abdul Hamid was born in a Muslim family at Dharmapur village of Ghazipur district of Uttar Pradesh on 1 June 1933. The son of Muhammad Usman Army, Abdul Hamid was enrolled into the Grenadiers Infantry Regiment as Army No. 239,885 on 27 December 1954. He was later posted in the 4th Battalion of the regiment where he served all his service life. During his service, Abdul Hamid served with his battalion in Agra, Amritsar, Jammu and Amp, Kashmir, Delhi, and EFA and Ramgarh. During the Sino-Indian War of 1962, Hamid's battalion was part of 7th Infantry Brigade commanded by Brigadier John Dalvey, and participated in the Battle of Namkachi against the Chinese. Surrounded and cut off, the battalion had made a fighting breakaway into Bhutan by foot and then to Missamari. A young officer, 2lt GVP Rao, had been awarded a posthumous Maha Vir Chakra, the highest gallantry medal received by the battalion since independence, till Hamid's own award eclipsed it. Indo-Pak War. After 5 years of service in the anti-tank section, Abdul Hamid had recently been promoted and given charge of quartermaster stores of his company, as he was the best 106mm recoilless rifle shot in the battalion. He was reverted to his former charge as NCO, commanding the battalion's recoilless rifle platoon in the Lahore sector of operations, a 4-mountain division of India, having been rebuffed in its advance to the Ikhogal by the Pakistani counter-offensive, fell back to the Khem Karan area. In the new defense plan of the division, 4 Grenadiers, along with 3 other battalions of the division, formed a defense line between Asal Uttar and Chima villages on the Khem Karan Behind Amritsar Road and the Patti axis. 4 Grenadiers was on the northern flank in general area of Chima village, while other battalions were to the south, ending with its sister battalion, 7 Grenadiers, in Asal Uttar village itself. Earlier the battalion had captured its objective on the Ikhogal Canal, but being outflanked by the Pakistani counter-offensive was ordered back to new positions. It had already been in combat for more than 24 hours when it began digging trenches and weapon pits in its defensive positions. The battalion defended area was covered with cotton and sugarcane fields, and the battalion was able to camouflage its location, using plowed fields for field of fire. The 106mm recoilless guns were deployed along the Khem Karan Amritsar Road. On 8 September, the enemy made repeated probing attacks on the 4th Grenadiers position. The battalion's recoilless weapons and automatics were effectively sighted by Hamid's company officers LTHR, Yanu and 2LTV. That afternoon, Abdul Hamid destroyed 2 Pathan tanks, the commander of one of which asked Hamid for directions just before Hamid destroyed the tank. On 10 September 1965 at 08:00 hours, a battalion of Pakistani armour supported by Pathan tanks attacked the 4th Grenadier positions but was unable to locate the battalion's defences. The attack proceeded by intense artillery bombardment to soften the target and to garner a heavy fire in an attempt to draw Indian response. By 09:00 hours, the enemy tanks had penetrated the forward company positions. In the melee, Hamid saw a group of Pathans heading towards his battalion defences. Seeing the gravity of the situation, he moved out to a flank with his gun mounted on a jeep. Intense enemy shelling and tank fire did not deter him. He fired continuously, knocking out 3 Pathans, one after another, but was killed by tank fire from the 4th before he could engage it. Successful actions by Indian armor, artillery and infantry anti-tank actions, such as those of Abdul Hamid, tarnished the reputation of the M48 Platin, and after the 1965 war, the M48 was largely replaced by the M60. India set up a war memorial named Patan Nagar in Khem Karan district, where the captured Pakistani Patan tanks are displayed. Military awards. Param Vir Chakra citation. The Param Vir Chakra citation on the official Indian Army website reads as follows. Citation: Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid for Grenadiers. At 08:00 hours on 10 September 1965, Pakistan forces launched an attack with a regiment of Patan tanks on a vital area ahead of village Chima on the Bikiwind Road in the Khem Karan sector. Intense artillery shelling preceded the attack. The enemy tanks penetrated the forward position by 09:00 hours. Realizing the grave situation, Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid, who was commander of ARCL gun detachment, moved out to a flanking position with his gun mounted on a jeep. Under intense enemy shelling and tank fire, taking an advantageous position, he knocked out the leading enemy tank and then, swiftly changing his position, he sent another tank up in flames. By this time the enemy tanks in the area spotted him and brought his jeep under concentrated machine gun and high explosive fire. Undeterred, Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid kept on firing on yet another enemy tank with his recoilless gun. While doing so, he was mortally wounded by an enemy high-explosive shell. Havildar Abdul Hamid's brave action inspired his comrades to put up a gallant fight and to beat back the heavy tank assault by the enemy. His complete disregard for his personal safety during the operation and his sustained acts of bravery in the face of constant enemy fire were a shining example not only to his unit but also to the whole division, and were in the highest traditions of the Indian Army. The award was announced on the 16th of September 1965, less than a week after the battle that cost his life. The award was presented to his spouse, Rasulan Bibi Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, then President of India, during the 1966 Republic Day Parade. Legacy. In his memory, a mausoleum was constructed on his grave by the 4th Grenadiers at Asal Uttar, and each year a mela is organized on the date of his martyrdom. The residents of Asal Uttar have named and operate a dispensary, library and school in the village. In his honor, the Army Postal Service issued a special cover on the 10th of September 1979. In the 1988 television serial Param Vir Chakra by Chetan Anand, Abdul Hamid is played by actor Nasiruddin Shah. A pictorial postage stamp of value 3 rupees was issued by India Post on the 28th of January 2000 as part of a set of 5 postage stamps on Gallantry Award winners. The stamp had Abdul Hamid's bust on it along with an illustration of a jeep with recoilless rifle. Hamid's widow, Rasulan Bibi, had met President of India Pratibha Patil in Lucknow in 2008 with a number of requests, including creation of a military recruitment center in his village, converting Hamid's home in Dullapur into a memorial, observing the day of his martyrdom as an occasion at the national level, and help for her children to get government employment. A memorial to Abdul Hamid was constructed in his home village of Dharmapur but later fell into neglect. The memorial was renovated in 2011 by the Flags of Honor Foundation on Hamid's 46th death anniversary. The renovation included the installation of a new statue of him, repair and painting of gates and boundary, and improvement of the garden. Indian Member of Parliament Rajiv Chandrasekhar, founder of Flags of Honor, spoke on the occasion.